Hi everyone, I'm Robbie, aka Tonic on the Run Rider thread. You probably know me better as that. And I wanted to show you my slow stick. I made the pusher as promised. I know you guys are all working on them. Mine's very simple. I want to show it to you. But first I want to show you kind of how I got to where I am today in the first place. I thought I invented aerial photography with my T-Rex 450. This one's morphed over the years. It's got all the good stuff, motor, Jazz, ESC and all that. And you kind of need it if you're going to use one of these little guys to carry a an 8 or 9 ounce payload. But I just took a chunk of styrofoam and stuck my little point and shoot camera in there, mounted a servo on it with double-sided tape to trigger the shutter. And man, I really thought I knew something. I just then zip tie it on here and had a couple crashes. Come to find out that this setup's only good for about maybe 3 minutes in the air, not very long at all, but I still got some good pictures with it. So anyway, Run Rider, helicopters, and I happened to see Kevin's thread, and the rest is history. So let me get my slow stick out and show it to you. Okay, well here it is. I just want to give you a all put together view first, and we'll take off the wing and look underneath the hood in a second. But she's armed and dangerous. That's that 480 motor. I got it on brake mode. I kind of like it. It really slows down really well. Arrow shafts for the twin boom. Mounted the camera up here. I'm still with the double taped with a little piece of plexiglass with the servo to trigger the capture button on the camera. Battery, ESC underneath. So anyway, let's take off. You can see it. I mean, it's set up, ready to go. I'm just waiting outside for the weather. It's supposed to be 40 tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And I don't know. You probably can't see it from this angle. The only thing I really did here, both ailerons are kind of a little bit in the down mode. So I think I got just a little bit more lift by doing that, and maybe a little bit slower flight. This flies really, well, I think it flies slow. The wing is identical to when I just had it in its normal configuration. So let's look underneath the hood. Okay, the wing here, nothing special, standard wing. I still got the dihedral in it, as you can see. Actually, Kevo, this is really more of his early creation. I just kind of copied it. Reinforced spar here in the center is the only thing I did to strengthen the wing. I just used one servo. I think it's a standard size. I don't know servos very well until you get down into the small stuff, because everything I fly is relatively small. But I just used 2 bell cranks and 1 servo. So I wanted to make this as simple, as light as possible, and thank you, Kevo. That's what I did, and I've stuck with it. I know you guys have progressed to, double servos and stuff, and that's fine. But for me, there's my wing. Okay, I'm just going to walk around and hold the camera for this. But basically, what I did is that's the center fuselage for the original slow stick, and I basically just kind of turned it around. I made the front the back and the back the front. So I took my motor mount, just simply stuck it on the back. Ran it through, and there's the piece right there, and I'll see if I can do this one-handed. Yeah, I can. So I can just pull my camera right back out for viewing and what have you, and I just plan on having a little pin in there that holds it in, so it'll come in and out real quick. Okay, and for you that are interested in a very inexpensive camera mount, you can make them for nothing. This is just a little strip of 3/4 inch aluminum that I just simply bent, put a couple screws in it, and fashioned it to the front. Just use a little piece of plexiglass right here. It's got double-sided tape on both sides, so it just pulls right off. Works. I've never had one problem with it yet. This is my original landing gear. I just used, it's not very heavy gauge. I don't know what size. If somebody wanted me to measure it, I could definitely do that. The only thing I did is kind of a little different is I pigeon-toed these wheels in a little bit, and I can stick my hand on here and put down a lot of weight. That's several pounds of pressure there, so they're a little tougher than it even might look. I never had any problem with it. Okay, here's what I did with the frame. These are arrows, and it took 3 of them, one for this side, one for this side, and then these 2 cross members took the better part of the 3rd arrow. There actually was a little bit of scrap left over with 3 arrows. I took Troy's advice. I went ahead and put in the first one I made of wood over here, but I actually found some carbon fiber hollow tubing that I put on. And then let's see if I can get on a joint here real close. But what I did on these joints was I got a little piece of wood dowel and put on the inside of them, and then sanding them about the you know, kind of round so they'd make a good glue adhesion coming in. I glued them first, let it set up. Then I went back with more glue, slopped it around the area, and then went around and around with kind of a heavy thread. Not as beefy as string and a little heavier than thread. I'm not even sure where I got it. I just got a bunch of that stuff left that I inherited from my mother's sewing kit. But anyway, that's what all that stuff is. So I think those are actually pretty darn strong. Servo wires, well, this is the antenna lead. I'm going 7200 megahertz for this. And then I'm also using that, which I think is the best 7200 receiver there is that Berg 7. Just if you guys don't know about it, read about it. They're unbelievable. Oh, here's another thing. The guy at Airfoil saw one of my last posts of a picture, and he goes, "Rob, do you know that your propeller's on backwards?" Well, you guys tell me, you push your guys, it's going to spin this way, which is the leading edge. So if that motor is up here and turned around, it'd still be going the same way. So it would torque the same way. It would torque, you know, to the left. Like if you were doing torque rolls, you'd be going to the left. But so if that's right, great. If it's wrong, hey, let me know. I still think it'll fly that way. My servos, I just hot glued them on, and that's the rudder and the elevator servo. I just did it right there. The length between and I'd asked this on RunRider because I didn't know, you know, how far do you make the tail sitting back, but I am 10 1/4 inches from the trailing edge of the front wing to the leading edge of the rear stabilizer. And then on the bottom, I just glued them on. Now my arrows are alloy aluminum, and when I first glued that on, they didn't hold too good. But I found out that if you take hot glue, or I mean, if you warm up the arrow shaft first, I don't know, maybe I was getting it to maybe 150 degrees or something, and put it on there, it bonds really good. Just makes all the difference in the world. Now here is probably the most suspect thing I got, maybe, but it's a tail dragger, and I did a double tail dragger, and I did the same thing like I did to attaching things. I epoxied with thread and around and around and around and epoxied. So I know I'm strong here, but this comes down and it's just going to drag. And the reason this tape's on here is because the wire actually goes down and does kind of a loop, and I didn't want any more grass catching it than necessary. But it actually, you know, I got quite a distance here to the ground, so it's going to squish down hard. I mean, I'm pushing down pretty hard on it. I don't, you know, if it hits, it hits. It's not that big a deal, as long as I don't take the camera out. So guys, that's it. I hope to fly it this weekend. If you guys want to show pictures of yours, that'd be great. Any comments, criticisms, whatever, I'm welcome. I'm just the hobby guy, so I just really enjoy watching you guys tell you the truth, and your pictures from around the world. I kind of get a kick out of that. So hey, good luck. Let's do some great flying, get some good pictures. Bye.